Now that you have completed your methods section, one more small element from the method section is there, that is return type of a method. Now let's talk about that. I have created one class, that is return type class, and here you see two methods are there. One method is main method and one method is m1 method. Okay, now both the method signature means the method head. Okay, this is known as method head, this is also known as method signature, and rest you already know, that is this is the method body. Okay, every method will have method signature and method body. Inside the method signature you have seen that this is access specifier, this is access modifier, this is return type of the method, and after that you have seen that the method name is already there. Okay, along with followed by the arguments if exists. Now over here when we are talking about the methods only, let's talk about the return type of the return type keyword in the method signature. So here it is void. Now whenever it is void, it means that your method is not returning any value. Okay, what does that mean actually? So let me experiment with this method, that is m1 method. Over here whenever I say return type of a method, that whenever I say like this, you just need to think only one thing, that every method in Java will always have one statement like this at the last, return and then semicolon, whether the programmer writes it or not. Okay, whether the programmer writes it or not, whenever the compilation is happening and dot class file is getting generated, your compiler will auto generate this statement at the last of every method that exists. Okay, now in between return and semicolon you see there is no value at all. Now in between return keyword and semicolon, if there is no value at all, then in the method signature, in the respective method signature, the return type or the return keyword will be void. Okay, now say for example, if in between, if you are just writing 30 or 20, okay, so what type of value it is? It is integer type of value, correct? It is integer type of value. Okay, now so you are just saying that you have 20 as a value in between return and return keyword and semicolon. Okay, now you just hover over your mouse over here and it is saying that change method return type to int. Okay, or otherwise just remove the value between the return and the semicolon. Okay, but I want to have this value. Now when you have this value, boss, what will happen is, what based on the type of the value, based on the data type of the value, you will have to declare the return type of the method in the method signature. So it is int type of value, and now you see the error has been gone. Yes, now whenever you will call m1 method, it will always give you 20 as a value. Now how do we call this static method? So let's have a call of this static method inside the m1 method. Yeah, here it is. Now I've just called. Now the value is going in vain right now, so I need to catch it so that I can see whether the value is actually coming or not. So whatever the value is coming, I'm going to assign it to some variable. So what type of variable it should be? It should be int type of variable, because what type of I'm returning the value? Int type of value. Okay, so this variable I have created. Now if you just want to print it, have a look. Value of a variable is plus variable. Okay, just have a look. Now if you just run it, what type of value is going to be printed? First of all 20, because in between return and semicolon you have written 20 as a value, and whenever some person will call m1 method, they will get 20, and if they are receiving this value and they are printing it, then it will be printed. See here we have just called m1 method, and whatever the value is coming in, we are just storing in the variable. We are initializing this variable, and after that we are just doing the utilization of the variable. That's it. Now not only that, if it is int, it will return int. If it is say for example character dollar sign, okay, so it's dollar. So once it is dollar, what type of value you need, what type of value this dollar sign is, because I have written everything this dollar in single quotes, that means it is a character, correct? So it's character, so char is the data type for this character values. So when I am calling m1 method, I will be getting character, okay. So the data type is char, and variable over here will get initialized with dollar sign, and it will print over here dollar sign only. So let's have a look and let's run it. Yeah, here it is. The value of a variable is dollar. That's it. Now not only that, instead of this character, if you just want to print your name also, that's it, it is going to print the name also in the same way. Now here also, when you are receiving the variable, when you are receiving the value inside a variable, based on the value of the return type, your variable data type will also change. So here also it will become string, correct? So here also it will become string. Let me save it. So here also I need to change string. That's it, everything is good. Now let's run it. Here I'm able to print string. Now what is the utilization of this return? If everything is getting returned, what is the utilization of it? So let me give you one example, very good example I will give you. Now I'm going to create one type of a method which will always give me the current date, whether I'm running this method today, tomorrow, or after 10 years or after 5 years, whenever, it will always give me the date whenever you are executing that. So let me just create one method. So public static void, as of now I'm just writing void, and current time, okay. This method I have just created. That's it. Now over here, return and semicolon I have just put, no need to be worried. Now I'm doing nothing over here. Now don't bother about the logic that I'm putting in over here. You just be bothered about the value that I will be writing inside or in between the return and semicolon, okay. So let me write date time format, date time formatter. I'll just write one variable, pattern is equal to date time formatter. And in which pattern you want in month, year, or you want in month, day or year, or in day, month and year. I would like this dd mm yy, because rest all are confusing for me, okay, at least for me, yeah. So here it is. So date time formatter, formatter, but of what pattern? Dot of pattern I need to write, yeah, here it is. Now this pattern is actually recorded in this variable. Now along with that, I'm just saying that let's get the today's date only using this local date time. I'll just write now is equal to local date time, okay. Now whatever local date time dot now, okay. Now whenever you will be just running this method, it will always get the time, okay. Not only this values it gets, actually it also gets the hour, minute and seconds, okay. So you need to because we don't need any other values, so I'm just removing that. So this is actually the current date, and this is the pattern that I want. So in this pattern, if you want, you will have to pass this value in this pattern. So how do I do? Need not to be understood. Now I'm just doing a simple change, just like that. So I'll just write pattern dot format, and the format is this. I'm just saying that whatever the date is there, it should be in this format. Okay, now whatever the value is coming after sorting it out, whatever the value is coming is nothing but date only, right? So I'm just passing this date in between return and semicolon. What type of value is there inside this variable? String type of value. So the string should also be the return type of the method, correct? That's it, right? Now you just need to call this method and you will be done. So this is the method and here you have called it. Now since you have called it, you also need to save it in current date. Okay, so since you have just called it, you just need to you have called it, you have initialized your variable. Now what is the life cycle of a variable? Declaration was done and it has been initialized with this method, and it can also be utilized. Unless it is utilized, how would you get to know? So that's it. Let's run. And current date is 6th January 2023. You are able to see, correct? Now say for example, if you want to run this method tomorrow, the date will change every now and then. The value, whenever you are calling this method, the value is new. Sometimes in automation or in backend testing or whatever thing, if you want PDF, then return type can also be PDF. If you want XML, the return type can be XML. The return type can also be anything that you want. Okay, that's why this is very small topic, but this helps us in lot many ways. Now let's summarize. First of all, we were not writing return keyword, right? We were not writing return statement with any of the methods in any of the classes that we have done till date. Okay, but we have started writing it. Now what was happening when we were not writing the return statement for any of the methods? Now whenever you do not write, being a programmer, when you do not write return statements to any of the methods, the compiler will actually generate, automatically it will generate the return statement, and it will associate with each and every methods in the dot class file. Whenever you will do the compilation in the compiled file, okay, in the dot class file, always the return statement will be there, and in when it is generated by compiler, there will be no value in between the return keyword and the semicolon, because it is compiler generated return statement. That is why it is also known as default return statement. Yes, it is known as default return statement. So if a user is not defining a return statement in a method, compiler will generate a return statement and it is called default return statement. But when a user is defining a return statement and there is a data in between the return keyword and the semicolon, based on the data type of the value, the return type of the statement in the method signature will change. Okay, and every method will have a return statement. By the way, every method will have a return statement. Okay, that's it. Now you have understood what is a return type of a method is. Good day.